Hello, this is Mia, and this is Mia's Miracles. So, I want to tell you about an experience that happened a few years ago. My daughter Bailey she chose to serve a mission for the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. And she was sent to Baton Rouge, Louisiana, one of the most foreign places in the United States that you can go. But oh my heavens, she absolutely loved it. And she served for 18 months, and her purpose there was to share her love of the gospel of Jesus Christ and her testimony of his love for each one of his children. And so she served for 18 months, and then my daughter Brina, who is about 5 years younger than Bailey, she and I flew out to go pick her up. We spent about a week with her and met a lot of the people that she had created beautiful relationships with, and some that she had taught the gospel and even baptized. And it was just a really neat experience. Well, she spoke on the last Sunday we were there. The bishop in her ward asked her to speak her farewell talk. And as she spoke, it was incredible. I mean, my daughter is an amazing speaker, and you were just glued to her. She was mesmerizing because of her absolute passion for the gospel. And so she spoke, and a couple other people spoke. And I noticed on the other side of the church, there was this lady. She had a couple kids with her, and she was sitting by herself. But I noticed that she was crying. And I just had this feeling to go up to her after church and just let her know how much her Heavenly Father loves her, and that no matter what she has done, it's all okay because Christ took care of it. And I didn't know her. I'd never seen her before, of course. We were in Picayune, Mississippi, which is where Bailey spent most of her time on her mission, about 7 months. And so this was the ward that she had served in. So I want to read to you the experience from Jamie, who is the lady that I saw crying across the way in the chapel. And I want to read to you what her experience was, because she told me that this was life-changing for her. She said, "I was struggling with my daughter moving to her dad's in Connecticut, and my husband at the time was using drugs, and I just felt like nothing I did was enough. I had been going to different churches, and the missionaries started coming to my apartment, and we would talk for hours. They invited me to come to church many times, but I would never go. But that day, I woke up and had an overwhelming feeling to go. I loaded up my kids and my friends' kids, and off we went to church. I was a bit uncomfortable during sacrament until Bailey got up to speak, and her energy just caught my attention, and I was absolutely in awe of her. I sat there listening to every word she spoke about the power of God in her life and the blessings of her mission. As the kids went into separate rooms and all the women started gathering together in the chapel for Relief Society, I listened to a woman speak. I cried and I prayed, asking God, why wasn't I enough? Why wasn't I a better mom? Why did I feel like such a failure and keep holding on to things that were hurting me? Mia came up after church and asked me my name, and I remember her asking who I was. I couldn't understand what she meant. Then she proceeded to tell me how she felt that she needed to tell me a message. And I can remember just going into a zone of absolute fear because of how I felt about myself. As she told me that I was enough and that our Father needed me to know that He hears me and that He sees my heart, not to worry about my past discretions. He can see me and love me as I truly am. I remember crying until I couldn't even breathe. She told me that day she was there to pick up her daughter from her mission, and that Bailey was her daughter, that beautiful, energetic girl that had my undivided attention when she spoke about her experiences in Picayune. I cried all the way home. It was an overwhelming feeling, and I remember feeling so tired, but honestly had the best day. Again, I am just very grateful that I listened to that prompting to go up to her and say what I felt the Spirit wanted me to say, because she needed to hear it so badly. She needed to know that she was loved, that she was watched over, that she was taken care of, and that her Father in heaven knew her name. I can't stress how important it is when we feel any type of prompting to say or do something good for someone else that we follow through. Yesterday I was at Walmart, and there was a lady behind me in line, and she had two little kids, a young girl. She had two little kids, and she was talking on the phone, and I could just tell she seemed very sad. She seemed very distressed. And I just took some money out of my wallet and handed it to her, and I said, just use this to go towards your groceries. I can just tell that you're really sad. She started to cry, and she said, my dad died. Again, God knows. And we are His saviors on Mount Zion. We are here to do His work and let people know how He feels about them. Anyway, thank you for listening.